Presented by Listen Headlines. Latest financial news from trusted sources. Updating daily noontime New York City.
Global economy.
March 29. 11:07 America New York, a new world of currency disorder looms. The Chinese renminbi can be a challenger to the US dollar, but it won't replace it. New York Times Business.
March 29. 10:59 America New York, workers are still in high demand, Department of Labor reports. The job market remained very strong last month, suggesting that workers remain in high demand and are still quitting more often, a Labor Department report showed. A retailer advertised open positions in New York this week. Job openings last month remained near record levels, according to new government data. Wall Street Journal markets.
March 29. 10:48 America New York, Robinhood is offering extended trading hours, ICE 24/7 trading. The brokerage is expanding its trading hours in an attempt to combat slowing growth tied to trading revenue.
New York Times Business.
March 29. 10:37 America New York, Condé Nast workers form Companywide union. The union will cover more than 500 employees from all of Condé Nast's brands, except the 4 publications that have already unionized. Condé Nast, which owns titles like Vogue and Bon Appetit, has faced waves of internal turmoil in the past 2 years over the treatment of employees of color and the low wages of some workers.
BBC News Business.
March 29, 10:32 America New York, Heathrow strike expected to hit Easter holidaymakers. Baggage maintenance engineers intend to walk out between 8 and the 10th of April in a row over pay.
Daily FX Market News.
March 29, 10:32 America New York, S&P, P500, Nasdaq 100, Dow price forecasts. Stocks gap up to fresh highs. Stocks have continued to ramp and the Nasdaq has jumped by as much as 17.41% from the lows 2 weeks ago.
BBC News Business.
March 29. 10:32 America New York, Heathrow strike expected to hit Easter holidaymakers. Baggage maintenance engineers intend to walk out between 8 and the 10th of April in a row over pay.
Daily FX Market News.
March 29. 10 o'clock America New York, US dollar under pressure as consumer confidence beats street estimates. US consumer confidence rebounds slightly in March, coming in at 107.2 versus 107 exp.
Wall Street Journal markets. March 29. 9:44 America New York, India's Zomato needs to expand the menu, quickly. Indian technology heavyweight Zomato has built a solid foundation in food delivery. But its competition is moving aggressively into adjacent areas like quick commerce.
BBC News Business.
March 29, 9:04 America New York, full fuel duty cut not being passed on to drivers. Big retailers have passed on the 5p per liter cut, but smaller forecourts have yet to restock.
BBC News Business.
March 29, 9:04 America New York, full fuel duty cut not being passed on to drivers. Big retailers have passed on the 5p per liter cut, but smaller forecourts have yet to restock.
Wall Street Journal markets.
March 29, 9:03 America New York, State Street loses Hong Kong role after U.S. blacklist controversy. The American financial institution lost its role managing Hong Kong's largest exchange-traded fund, after being criticized last year for briefly following a U.S. investment ban on some Chinese shares.
New York Times Business.
March 29, 9 o'clock America New York, more private jets take to the skies, creating gridlock on the ground. Developers are rapidly expanding hangar space at airports across the country to keep up with a growing demand for places to park private planes. Shabak Aviation, a jet charter operator, has a 30,000 square foot hangar at McClellan Palomar Airport in Carlsbad, Calif.
Wall Street Journal US Business.
March 29, 9 o'clock America New York, home price growth accelerated in January. The S&P CoreLogic Case-Shiller National Home Price Index, which measures average home prices in major metropolitan areas across the nation, rose 19.2% as the supply of homes for sale fell to a new low. Daily FX Market News.
March 29, 8:20 America New York, Euro soars, gold drops, crude oil slammed on Russia-Ukraine latest. Russia to sharply cut military operations in Kyiv and Chernihiv. Euro spikes.
Global economy.
March 29, 819 America New York. UK credit card debt hits record high as inflation and cost of living bite. Consumers borrowed £1.5 billion net in February, the highest monthly figure since statistics began in 1993.
Digital finance. March 29, 804 America New York. ANZ puts its new $1 DC stablecoin to work. The Australian bank's purpose-led coin is starting to power cross-border payments and supply chain taxation. The post ANZ puts its new $1 DC stablecoin to work appeared first on Digital Finance.
BBC News Business.
March 29, 717 America New York, UK to detain first superyacht in British waters. The £38 million yacht, named Phi, is owned by an unnamed Russian businessman, the government says.
BBC News Business.
March 29, 717 America New York, UK to detain first superyacht in British waters. The £38 million yacht, named Phi, is owned by an unnamed Russian businessman, the government says.
Global economy.
March 29, 646 America New York, Australia delivers giveaway budget as general election looms. Treasurer cuts taxes and increases spending on defense as ruling coalition struggles in polls.
Wall Street Journal U.S. Business.
March 29, 533 America New York. Biden's budget would reshape his international tax plan. The proposed 2023 budget changes a key piece in President Biden's international tax plan, moving away from a prior, harsher proposal and toward an evolving international standard for enforcing the global minimum tax agreement.
Wall Street Journal U.S. Business.
March 29, 528 America New York. U.S. targets oligarchs' hidden assets, Russian military supply lines. Washington and its allies plan to sanction those who help Russia's elites shield their assets, while governments are also working on ways to cut off Moscow's access to the tools of war, Deputy Treasury Secretary Wally Adeyemo said.